So there are videos going about saying the UK is a trap, abroad is a trap. But some of the things I know now, if I had known them 5, 10 years ago, possibly I may not have traveled abroad. Or some of the things I know now would have influenced my JAPA journey maybe a long time ago. Welcome back to my channel. This is Felix. I live in the UK and I'm going to be sharing my information. I'm going to be sharing my life information. I'm going to be sharing so many things about my JAPA story. And I'm sure some of you, there are lots you're going to learn from here. So I'm going to be saying what are some of those things that no one prepares you, about traveling abroad, about jackpotting. That's the word we use in Nigeria. So these are some of the things that nobody actually prepares you for before you travel abroad. Because if you ask those who have already gone ahead of you and you ask them question, oh boy, how far? What's happening there? How is life there? What people will tell you, oh boy, is either, oh boy, come, oh, life here is sweet, or oh boy, things no easy. These are the two responses you either get. And this is based on, the circumstances of the person you're asking. If you're asking someone who came to the UK either via the student route, whose school fees is all paid, accommodation is paid, who gets allowance, the person will definitely tell you the UK, everything good, everywhere is nice, oh boy, just come. But if someone who comes here, same student who had to hustle to pay his school fees, and then he comes in here, he's hustling, he's going to school, still trying to maybe work in the kitchen as a kitchen assistant, washing plates, standing for 12 hours, working as a security, working in a warehouse where you work 12 hours shift, you break your back. If you ask that kind of person, oh boy, how is abroad? Definitely the response that person will give you will be different from this other scenario I used initially. So that is it. It depends on who you ask, how is abroad. But one thing is, nobody actually prepares you for what lies abroad, because many people, by the time they come abroad, there is this illusion of, oh, but immediately I go abroad, my problem don't settle. It is well, my family is out of poverty. I laugh in Spanish because that illusion will soon become reality. Many people, by the time they come in abroad, many of us have done that. People take loan, people take all sort of stuff just because if you look at your environment, you look at the people surrounding you, you're not really financially buoyant and you need to make this journey. So what will most people do? They will usually want to borrow. Either you go to the banks or you go to the credit lenders or you go to family and friends. For most people, even family and friends might not even have the money to borrow. So what you do, you have to go to this bank people, this microfinance bank. Most of the times they are the ones who will borrow you loan. So by the time you borrow from them, you either use it to pay your flight ticket, you're looking at getting your accommodation, you're looking at sorting out your feeding for the first 1 month before you start work, and all of that. So that is the reality nobody prepares you for. And by the time you come in, there are culture shocks. The culture shock is real here. Once you come in here, for most people, it will even though you speak English, you're coming from an English speaking country. By the time you come in here, some of the intonation, some of the English intonation, it might be difficult for some people to even begin to grasp. Sometimes you might have to ask, please, pardon, can you come again? Just so the person can say those words. So if you go to Scotland now, there's going to be a whole lot of struggle for many people because the accent there is just something. So these are some of the culture shocks. You come in here, you see somebody falls on the ground. Usually, as an African person, you want to go and help, but over here, you just stand back and watch. You call emergency, let them come and do their job. If you try to help some people, they even tell you, please leave me, don't touch me. That's some of the these and so many. You come here, is it about the food? The food is something else. So most people come in here, with the aim that, oh, things, I will get what I need and all of that. Yes, there are African shops here, but by the time you come in here, you discover that, man, what you plan for is not what you're getting. So these are many more nobody prepares you for. And then by the time you come in, within the first 1 month, you're still finding your way. Within the next 2 months, 3 months, before you know, 6 months has gone by. For most people, within that 6 months, they're still trying to navigate their way, still trying to find their path, still trying to see how they can settle. Is it the issue of accommodation? For some persons, by the time they come in, is the issue of accommodation. And one thing with accommodation in this country is that by the time you come in, if you're not legal in this country, it's going to be very difficult for you to rent accommodation. It's going to be very difficult for you to have a place for you to stay. It's either you look for a shared apartment or you pay cash in hand, because no landlord will want to give you his house for rent where you don't have the right to stay in the country. So these are some of the limitations. These are some of the things that most people don't even tell you. And then by the time you come into the country, you're trying to settle down. Those who have been in the country for long, the OGs, will now start advising you. Once you come here, one of the best ways we survive here is by taking credit card. Yes, you need to get a credit card. And when you see these people, they are working 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week. And you'll be wondering, why are these people working like this? These are people who have been in the country for quite a while. Many of them have damaged their credit score. They have damaged everything. How? Because they have taken credit here. Sometimes they take what they don't need for. You take credit card for house, you take credit card for fridge, you take credit card for television, credit card for fan. So they just use credit to buy almost everything. And for some people who are not frugal, some people who are not diligent in paying, they begin to destroy their credit score. And as such, that gives them a very bad landing. So when you see these people, trying to work 60 hours, 70 hours a week, by the time you ask yourself, oh boy, bills too much. Bills too much. What kind of bills? Is it electricity bill or is it council tax? But when you go behind, you discover that it is way deeper than that. These are some of the things nobody tells you. These are some of the things nobody prepares you for. And then by the time you come in, you try to settle down. How about people back home? Because immediately you come abroad here, people assume that you have made it. That's the reality. Once you travel abroad, people from your village just assume that, oh boy, this person is an abroad, this person has made it. And you, with that illusion, because you feel you're abroad, most of the times you want to show off. By the time you come in, you want to change your phone, which is not a bad thing. And instead of you, ordinarily, if you're back home in Africa, in Nigeria, you usually want to use, you may want to go for Infinix or one of those Android devices. But because you are in the country here where they advise you to take credit card, you want to go for iPhone 17, which is not a bad thing to use iPhone 17. But by the time you go for that phone, you will now need to spread it for 2 years. That 2 years, what you should have paid, at an instance and take your phone, which would have saved you so much, you discover that you now be paying more than you should on getting that phone, which is going to cost you more. And then that's, by the way, for some people, by the time they come in, now you're looking at getting a car and you need someone to finance it. The credit people will still tell you, why not take this car on credit? You take the car on credit, that one is also adding up. By the time you look, what other thing again? You look at the TV, smart TV. You want an 80-inch TV. You say, no, I want to go. So these are many more. You discover that they begin to pile up. While you're sorting yourself here, back home, village people are still looking at you. Before you know what, black tax will begin. Your friends online, they will not let you rest. Everybody want to get a share of what you're getting abroad. This is because the kind of lifestyle you're not showing online is now beginning to make people feel, oh boy, this guy is living the life. This guy is living the dream. This guy is, oh boy, having a good life abroad. The latest shoe you buy, you post online, which is also bought on credit. The latest shirt you buy, you post online. Everything you buy, your latest phone, you post online. You want to tell people that, oh boy, you're living the dream life abroad. Whereas all of this is only you know why, only you know how you got those stuff. And then you have your family members. If your parents are still alive, they are there. You need to send money for them. Your younger ones, if some of them are still in school, it is now your responsibility. Brother, send me money for school fees. Brother, send me money for this, send me money for that. You have friends who are also there. So you discover that the whole responsibility is now landing on your head. These are some of the things nobody tells you, except you have a family where everyone is busy. Your parents are not dependent on you. Your younger ones are not dependent on you. Everybody is doing their thing. Everybody is hustling, as they call it. Everybody is doing fine. Then you now see that, oh boy, yeah, so you'll be able to save something. And one thing in this country, nobody will tell you, oh boy, save money. Nobody will tell you save money. Investment, nobody will tell you invest. Everybody is living from paycheck to paycheck. Not everybody anyway, but most people are living from paycheck to paycheck. From one month to the other, before half of that month, you see most people have spent all their money. They are waiting for the next paycheck to come. those who are on credit, they are already on zero level. So these are many more are the things that nobody tells you, that this abroad is not the way it is. The more you look, the less you see. Except you come in and then you link up with the right people who will be able to give you the advice, who will be able to direct you on how you'll be able to navigate this pathway. If you're not careful, you just end up becoming like the OGs who have been here. There are people who have been in the country for the last 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. They can't go back to Africa. Why? They can't buy plane tickets. You'll be surprised. They can't. Yes, there are people in this country. They have been in this country for the last 10 years. They can't buy plane ticket to go to Africa. It's not because they are not working. It's because of the things they have placed their hands on. The kind of base they have entered. Many of them, it's going to take years to come out of it. And the orga pata of them all, which is the house stuff. What do you call it now? The mortgage. This one is what has damaged so many people. And that's the crazy competition. Oh, I just came to the UK 2 years ago and I bought a house. Before you know what, someone comes in and he's also under that pressure. He wants to buy a house. You see people doing all sort of stuff. People not taking care of their health. They don't eat well. They don't sleep well. They don't take care of themselves well. Before you know what, people are already. That's why you hear that, oh, somebody just came back from work. You just lie down and that's the end. The person is gone. Their life is gone simply because they are not able to take care of themselves. They are in competition. They want to impress village people back home. Whereas the village people, they don't give a damn. Anyway, let me not make this video too long. I'm gonna stop here, but I'll share more of these details in my next video. So please do well to follow, do well to subscribe, and we'll keep the gist going on. And if you feel there's anything, you can drop in the comment section. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.